We're going to get started. So thanks so much for joining us today. I am Sharon Campo with Legal Services of Long Island and the supervising attorney of volunteers and community projects. And today we have our introduction to ICAN, which is one of our units, and community-based long-term care. We have attorney Amanda Davis, who works out of our Nassau County Hempstead office. So she's going to be presenting today. But first, I'm just going to go through a little bit more about our organization. Many of you, I'm sure, already know this, but we can't say it enough that we have a new name. We are formerly Nassau Suffolk Law Services, and we are currently now Legal Services of Long Island. So same organization, same everything, except we just have a different name. Some housekeeping, please make sure to keep your microphone muted. That way we don't have any background noise. If you do have questions, please put them in the chat and we will be addressing them at the end of the presentation. As Amanda's going through the presentation, you may notice that some of your questions have been answered. So if you can, just maybe wait a little bit before you maybe write it down on paper and then put it in the chat once the question has not been answered, or if you need more clarification, and we'll address everything at the end. We have a few polls throughout the presentation just to get to know you a bit better. And there should be a survey that pops up as well after you close out at the end of the presentation. If you could answer that, that helps us for our future presentations. And I did send out slides earlier this morning that accompany the presentation today. So you should have received it. If not, you can email me and let me know and I'll send them to you. Otherwise, I do send them out as well within a few days of the presentation. My email's in the chat. So Legal Services of Long Island has been around for almost 60 years. We handle over 6,000 cases every year. That includes direct representation, brief services, phone consultations, or referrals to other entities. We have 3 offices, Hempstead, Islandia, and Riverhead. And our case handling staff includes staff attorneys, social workers, and paralegals. And we do have partnerships with community agencies, whether it be Empire Justice or Brighter Tomorrows or other different organizations. And these are our offices. We have Hempstead, Islandia, and Riverhead. Of course, folks who are in Nassau County should go to the Hempstead office and call the Hempstead office to be screened for services. And folks who are in Suffolk County should call either the Islandia or Riverhead office. Preferably, folks who are east of 112 should call the Riverhead office. And we have about 20 different programs throughout Long Island. We have our domestic violence family court project, which just expanded into Nassau County. We are kind of on hold though with taking cases, but look out for that in the future. Suffolk County is definitely open. We have a child support defense project in Suffolk County. We have a variety of disability and health related projects, including ICAN, which is what we'll be discussing today. We have a HIV/AIDS unit, mental health law project, education disability rights, disability advocacy project, which helps when folks are have been denied Social Security disability. Some of our biggest projects are our civil unit, which assists folks who are at risk of being evicted and homeless, and our foreclosure prevention project, which of course assists folks who are currently in the foreclosure process. And then a variety of other different units, including consumer debt, which is one of the units that I supervise in Suffolk County. We have our education debt consumer advocacy project, which helps folks who have student loans or higher education debt. We have Veterans Rights Project, public benefits, adult care facility, human rights, which helps reentry and LGBTQ. Senior Citizen Project is in Nassau County only, and we have pro bono projects in both counties that have volunteer attorneys assisting our clients. And then of course our Community Legal Help Project, which is in both counties at different libraries. And we have all that information on our website. Our Legal Support Center for Advocates is for folks who are advocates, whether you are an attorney, you work for the court, you are a caseworker or a social worker at a nonprofit, you volunteer for your church. So anyone who is helping a client or a constituent, or know that there's someone who needs assistance in some way. If you're not really sure if it's something that we would take, please call our Legal Support Center for Advocates so we can identify whether it's potentially a case that we would take. If the client is potentially eligible, we can't guarantee anything until, of course, we go through our entire screening process. But if you'd prefer to not do a dead referral, then please give the Legal Support Center for Advocates a call so we can help you out. We've even helped out folks who maybe needed, a power of attorney. So we were able to find forms for them, or, anything we can try to help out with, we always try to help out with. But this phone line is for advocates only. I can't stress that enough. Unfortunately, we do have clients who give us a call and we can't help clients. Clients have to call the reception. So it's a longer process if you have clients call these phone numbers. We're not case handlers. We also host community trainings like we're doing today. We publish newsletters. We just got a brand new one hot off the presses. So I'll be emailing that out soon, or you might get it in your mailbox. We of course have so these are the 3 different extensions: Kathy, Lucidi, myself, and Hannah. So first 2 polls that we have today are: what type of advocate are you, and have you ever called the Legal Support Center for Advocates? So let me just get those polls up here. Okay, so the first one is: what type of advocate are you? If you could just take a moment to answer the poll, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, another few seconds. Okay, so I'll end the poll and let you guys take a look who we have with us today. So we have a lot of attorneys, nonprofit employees, social workers, government agency employees, some church volunteers, other, and some self-advocates. So thanks so much for joining us. And next, we'll just do: have you ever called the Legal Support Center for Advocates? Okay, so if you could quickly answer the poll. Okay, a few more seconds. Okay, great. So it looks like we have one person who has Kathy Lucidi on speed dial, so welcome back. We have some people who've called us every once in a while, and a majority of you have never heard of the Legal Support Center for Advocates, so we're happy that you're here with us today, and we hope that you're able to give us a call at some point in the future. Oh, I forgot to share the results. Sorry about that. So there you go. You can take a look. Okay. And of course, please feel free to visit our website. We have all about our programs. So if you want to take a look into more detail about what each program provides, you can take a look at that. People are typically surprised at how much we offer. We do have quite a few legal services. You can sign up for our legal lessons. I send out advocacy tips via email every month. Any upcoming trainings that we have, self-help resources for clients and advocates, and any other events that we have coming up. And just a note that any information that we have are sharing today, we keep it as up to date as possible. But what we're sharing with you today is legal information. It is not advice and counsel. Advice depends on the specific facts of each situation, and materials that we're providing today do not replace the advice of competent legal counsel. So just keep that in mind. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to Amanda Davis, our attorney in the ICAN unit in Hempstead. So take it away.
Hi, I'm Amanda Davis. I'm the ICAN attorney in Nassau County. I'm in the Hempstead office. My paralegal is Jennifer Rivera. She's also in the Hempstead office with me. And then my colleague, Kimberly Bulk, is out in our Islandia office. I'm just going to turn off my camera while I present. So here goes. So this is just an introduction to ICAN and to the long-term care services available through Medicaid managed care. I can go to the next slide. And this is just the agenda. And we can go next slide. So, so what is ICAN? ICAN stands for the Independent Consumer Advocacy Network. We are the New York State Ombuds program for people with Medicaid who need long-term care services or behavioral health services, and we assist New Yorkers with understanding how to enroll in and use their managed care plans that cover long-term care or behavioral health services. Next slide. Okay, perfect. What do we do and how can we assist? So we can answer your questions about managed care plans, give you advice about your plan's options, help you enroll in a managed care plan. We can help identify and solve problems with your plan, help you understand your rights, help you file complaints and or grievances if you are upset with a plan's action. And we can also help you appeal an action you disagree with. Who do we help? So we help anyone enrolled in a Medicaid managed care plan who needs one, either long-term care services like a home attendant, adult daycare or nursing home, or behavioral health services, help recovering from and living with mental illness or substance use disorder. We also help educate people who are newly eligible for enrollment in a Medicaid managed care plan. And we can talk to family, friends, social workers, providers, and anyone else who is helping people with their healthcare decisions. So what kind of plans do we assist with? And there's quite a few. The plans that we work with are MLTC, which is a partially capitated Medicaid plan, PACE, which is a program of all-inclusive care for the elderly, MAP, which is Medicaid Advantage Plus, FIDA IDD, which is FIDA for people with intellectual or developmental disabilities, MMC with long-term care services, and that's just a mainstream Medicaid managed care plan, and for those who need long-term care, and then HARP, which is health and recovery. What is Medicaid long-term care services? So what is long-term care? Health insurance like Medicare or Medicaid pays for medical care like your doctors, hospitals, and drugs. However, most health insurance doesn't pay for long-term care, such as home care, adult daycare, or nursing home care. Home care. So some older adults or people with disabilities need another person to help them safely perform their activities of daily living, or what we call ADLs. And some of the things that those ADLs that they can assist you with are bathing, dressing, grooming, using the toilet, walking, preparing meals, reminding to take medication, grocery shopping, laundry, and more. Medicaid pays for long-term care. Many New Yorkers who need long-term care can get it through Medicaid, and most people with Medicaid must get their long-term care through a managed care plan. You must either you must join a plan offered by a private health insurance company to get Medicaid to pay for your long-term care. Medicaid pays these companies to provide the long-term care to their members. What is MLTC? So MLTC is managed care. There are different types of plans that cover long-term care in New York State. All of them cover services like home care, adult daycare, nursing home care, medical supplies, and transportation. All of them must follow the same rules as the Medicaid program. Each type of plan may cover different services, but all plans of the same type must cover the same services. When you join an MLTC plan, you will get a care manager. Your care manager will visit you at least twice a year and will help you get the care you need. You can call your care manager whenever you have questions or problems. So when you're looking at whether MLTC plans are right for you, there's two questions that you would ask. The first question is, do you have Medicaid? If the answer is no and you do not yet have it, you then first need to apply for and be approved for community Medicaid with community-based long-term care, or CBLTC. There are facilitated enrollers throughout the state who can help you apply for Medicaid. You're not eligible to enroll in an MLTC plan or receive ICAN services until you are approved for Medicaid. The second question is, do you have Medicare? If the answer is no, then most likely you get all of your health care through a managed care plan, Medicaid managed care plan already, a mainstream plan, or through the Health and Recovery or HART plan. These plans already cover all of your doctors, hospitals, and also your long-term care services. You generally do not need a separate MLTC plan to get long-term care services if you're in one of these two plans. If you do have Medicare, then you're what's known as a dual eligible, and there are 4 different types of MLTC plans you can choose from to get your Medicaid managed long-term care. So the next question you have to ask is, what kind of plan is right for you? Do you want your Medicare and Medicaid to be combined into one plan? If the answer is yes, then you can choose from PACE, MAP, or FIDA IDD. If the answer is no, then you can also choose a Medicaid MLTC plan. Medicaid MLTC. A Medicaid MLTC is a separate health insurance that adds onto your existing Medicare and Medicaid coverage. You would be able to keep your current original Medicare or Medicare Advantage plan for doctors, hospitals, and other medical care. Medicaid MLTC plans just cover long-term care and a few other services. And because they do not cover doctors, you can continue to see the same doctors that you currently see now. What are the services that are covered? They include home care, whether that's with a personal care aide, a home health aide, or a consumer-directed personal assistant, adult daycare, private duty nursing, physical, occupational, or speech therapy, home-delivered meals, medical equipment and supplies, hearing aids and audiology, eyeglasses and vision care, dental care, podiatry, and temporary nursing home stays. Combined plans. There are 3 kinds of MLTC plans that combine your Medicare and Medicaid into one plan, and those are PACE, MAP, and FIDA IDD. With these plans, you would no longer use your Medicare card to get medical care. Everything would be through your plan. These plans are more convenient because you can rely on only have to deal with one insurance company. And however, you should make sure that your doctors take the plan before you enroll in that plan. The first type of the Medicare Medicaid combined plan is the PACE, or the Program of All-Inclusive Care for the Elderly. This combines Medicare, Medicaid, and long-term care services into one plan. You do have to be at least 55 years old to join PACE. If you join a PACE, you must go to a center in your neighborhood to get most of your care. The PACE center includes doctors and nurses who coordinate your care, as well as adult daycare, meals, and other services. PACE is, however, not available everywhere in the state, but it's a great option if you do live near one. If you do disagree with a decision by your PACE plan, then there are 2 different appeals processes depending on whether the service is covered by Medicare or Medicaid. The next plan option is MAP, or Medicaid Advantage Plus. And this is like a Medicare Advantage plan combined with a Medicaid MLTC plan. A MAP includes all Medicare, Medicaid, and long-term care services. You have to be at least 18 years old to join MAP. And unlike PACE, there is no center you need to go to for your doctors and other care. Some MAP plans may even include extra benefits like a debit card for over-the-counter items and groceries, or a gym membership. If you decide to enroll in a MAP plan and you disagree with a decision of that plan, there is one simple appeal process for all services. How do I join an MLTC? So there is just a note for people without Medicare. The following process that I'll go through is only for people with Medicare and Medicaid or dual eligibles who want to enroll in an MLTC. If you have Medicaid but not Medicare, then you generally do not need to enroll into an MLTC. Your Medicaid managed care or HARP plan already covers long-term care services. And some people with Medicaid but not Medicare may be eligible to enroll in an MLTC to receive services not covered by their Medicaid plan. And if you have questions for that, you can always reach out to ICAN and we can see how we can assist you. To get long-term care through your MMC or HARP plan, you do need to contact the New York Independent Assessor Program, which we'll discuss later. There are several steps to enroll to MLTC enrollment, and we'll go through those next. The first step is to apply for Medicaid. Most people seeking long-term care need to apply for Medicaid through their local Department of Social Services. And there are also facilitators throughout the state who can help you apply for Medicaid. If you're age 65 or older or certified disabled or blind, your income and resources must be under a limit, and it's set each year. The next step is the New York Independent Assessor Program, and that, or NIAP, and NIAP is a company that works for Medicaid. They assess people with Medicaid to find out whether they may be eligible to enroll in MLTC. You will have to be assessed by NIAP before you may enroll in an MLTC or MAP plan. And if you want to enroll in a PACE, you can just go directly through and do that without going through the NIAP process. NIAP must assess you before you can enroll in MLTC. Because Medicaid or MLTC is not for everyone, even if you already have Medicaid, you can only join an MLTC plan if you need help with your daily activities. And NIAP will decide if you join an MLTC by conducting a nursing assessment and a medical examination. And this is just a brief overview of the 4 steps. Next. Perfect. CHA and CA. So both the CHA and the clinical assessment can either be done by video call or in person. Just keep in mind for the video call, you would need to have access to a computer, smartphone, or tablet that has a working camera and microphone and a connection to the internet. And you can also have a family member or friend join you for those appointments. So the first type is the community health assessment, or the CHA. And this is the first appointment. A nurse will ask you a long list of questions to find out about your medical conditions and what you need help with. Once you have that conducted, then you would undergo the clinical appointment. And this is where a doctor or a nurse practitioner will ask you a shorter list of questions, and they're just determining whether you have a stable medical condition and are what we call self-directing. So once you undergo those 2 things, a few days later after that second appointment, NIA will email you an outcome notice informing you whether or not you are approved for MLTC enrollment and if you have a stable medical condition. If your outcome notice says you may qualify to receive long-term care services and support through Medicaid managed long-term care or MLTC plan, that means that you can proceed to the next step and choose the plan. It is sometimes possible that NIAP will send you an outcome notice that says you're not eligible to enroll and get home care. You do have the right to appeal that decision through a fair hearing. This means you can tell a judge why you think that decision was wrong, and if the judge agrees with you, then they will tell NIA to allow you to enroll. So the next question you want to ask is what type of plan is correct for you? And you can see the prior section about the different kinds of plans. You can also reach out to us and discuss the different kinds of plans. And the other option is you can also reach out to New York Medicaid Choice, and they're the enrollment broker for managed care to get help deciding which plan is right for you. The next step would be choose a plan. There's a list of plans that are available in your county. It does go by a county by county basis. You can also go online and find out which plans have a good quality measure. Find out which plans contract with preferred providers like a dentist, podiatrist, or home care agency you might already be working for. And if you're in a combined plan or you're looking to enroll in one, also make sure that the doctors you are seeing in network and that the drugs you are currently taking are on their formulary. The next step would be to contact your plan. Once you've been approved by Medicaid for MLTC, you must call a plan to find out if it's right for you. There are some questions you can ask to determine this. A big one would be how many hours of home attendant services will I get? What other services would be given to me? Will I be able to keep the aide who is helping me now? Can I direct my own care? Will I be able to get care in my own home or only in a nursing home? Will my dentist, podiatrist, audiologist, or optometrist be covered? And for the combined plans, will my doctor, hospital, and drugs be covered? And this is only for PACE, MAP, or FIDA, IDD. To answer these questions, the plan will need to meet with you. You can have friends, family with you during the meeting. You can ask questions and tell the nurse anything you want about your needs. Be sure to ask what services and how many hours the plan would approve. If you like that plan, you can join right away. The plan will use that community health assessment that the nurse conducted during the NIA process to determine what services you will receive and how many hours. And you do not need to join the first plan that meets with you. You can call multiple plans. You can also ask them to do an assessment, and you should pick the plan that will give you the best services you need, as well as one that you like the best. And the next stage is to enroll. Once you have chosen the plan that best fits your needs, you may enroll by signing the enrollment agreement form provided by the plan. If you're unable to sign, an authorized representative can sign this form for you. You can also reach out if you're enrolling in a Medicaid MLTC plan or FIDA IDD, you can call New York Medicaid Choice. And for MAP or PACE, you can just enroll directly through the plan. So one of the caveats is there is an effective date for enrollment. If you enroll by the 20th of the month, then your services will begin on the 1st of the immediate next month. If you enroll after the 20th, then your services will not start until the following month. The entire process from applying for Medicaid to enrolling in a plan will usually take about 3 months. But if you need care more urgently, you can also apply through the immediate need home care. And this is where you would just reach out directly to the local Department of Social Services instead of the MLTC plans. And if they approve you, these services will only be temporary, and within a few months, you will need to join an MLTC plan. And you can always give us a call if you want more information about this option. And so how to use my plan. So the plans are structured in that your Medicaid managed care plan is an insurance company. This means that they do not provide healthcare to you directly. Instead, they pay providers to provide the care to you. Usually, they decide whether you should receive care, how much, and for how long. Once the plan has approved services through one of their participating providers, they coordinate your care. So you do get a care manager through your plan. And so your first point of contact for any issue you have with your plan will be your care manager. They will visit you at least twice a year. They will work with you to develop your care plan, help you receive covered services. They'll coordinate any services that support your needs, even if the services are not covered by the plan. They can make changes to your care plan if your needs change and help you transition between care settings, for example, if you're being discharged from the hospital back to your home. Communicating with your plan, you can do most things over the phone with your care manager. However, it is best to also submit important requests in writing, such as service authorizations, appeals, or grievances. And you can call your care manager and ask for a fax number or mailing address if you need to do so. So a service authorization, most long-term care services do require you to have get a prior authorization by the plan before your plan will pay for that service. So a prior authorization is when you ask your plan for a new service. There's also a concurrent review. This is when you're just asking the plan for more of a service that you are already receiving. The plan must give you a written decision within 14 days of that request, unless it's a fast track appeal, in which case they have to give you a decision in 72 hours. The plan's decision on service authorizations is an action. So if you disagree with an action, you can appeal this. Examples of actions by your plan. So that's basically when a plan denies or limits services requested by you or your provider, denies a request for a referral, decides the service is not a covered benefit, reduces, suspends, or terminates services that were already being authorized, denies payment for a service, doesn't provide timely service, doesn't make grievance or appeals determinations within the required time frame, or denies a request to go out of network. You do have the right to a written notice. Whenever your plan takes an action regarding your services, they must send you an adequate written notice. Among other things, this notice should state the actions being taken, the reason for the action, and the effective date of the action. If the plan is proposing to reduce or discontinue a service you are already receiving, then the notice must be mailed to you 10 days before the effective date. You do have the right to an appeal. So if you disagree with your plan's action, you do have the right to request a plan appeal. This means that you are basically asking your plan to take another look at their decision. And if they agree with you that they made a mistake, they would change it. In order to request a plan appeal, you can use the plan appeal form included with the notice. You can also request an appeal over the phone, but unless it's a fast-tracked request, generally you must also confirm it in writing. And you can have another person request the appeal for you by signing a letter authorizing or giving them permission to do so. So plan appeal deadlines, there are a couple of different timelines. For something called aid continuing, if the proposed action is to reduce or discontinue your services, you can keep your services the same until your appeal is decided. This is called aid continuing or aid to continue. If you want aid continuing, you must request a plan appeal within 10 days of the notice date or by the date the change is supposed to start, and it's whichever of those two dates is later. For other kinds of actions, or if you don't want aid continuing, you must request a plan appeal within 60 days of the notice date. The plan must give you a written decision within 30 days of your appeal. There is a fast-tracked appeal. This means that you may be eligible for a decision within 72 hours if a delay would seriously risk your health, life, or ability to function, and certain other situations. Sometimes the plans do need an extension, and they may take up to 14 days longer if they show that they need additional information and that this would be in your interest. So one way to appeal is a fair hearing. So if you lose your plan appeal, you have the right to request a Medicaid fair hearing. And a fair hearing is when you can have an impartial hearing officer listen to you and the plan and decide who is right. If you want to keep your services the same until the fair hearing is decided, you must request the fair hearing within 10 days of getting the appeal decision, notice, or by the date the change is supposed to start, whichever is later. You can get aid in continuing at this stage, even if you did not get it during the plan appeal stage. And you have 120 days from the date of the final adverse determination notice to request this fair hearing. And you must complete the plan appeal before you can request a fair hearing. It's also worth noting ICAN, due to funding restrictions, can no longer directly represent at fair hearings. However, we can give you advice and help you prepare. The other option you have after the plan appeal is an external appeal. So if you lose your plan appeal, you may also be eligible to request an external appeal in addition to a fair hearing. This means asking the New York State Department of Financial Services to review the record to decide who is right. You must have a plan appeal before you can request an external appeal. However, not all issues will be can be brought to an external appeal, unlike a fair hearing. If you get both an external appeal and a fair hearing decision, it is the fair hearing decision that will ultimately apply. And deadline to request an external appeal would be 4 months from the date of the final adverse determination notice. Complaints. So if you're unhappy with something that your plan did or did not do, that wasn't in action, you can file a complaint with the plan. Some examples of things that would be appropriate for complaint and not an appeal would be the plan provided you with medical supplies that were of poor quality, your care manager doesn't return your call, or your personal care aide was rude to you or couldn't communicate with you. So you do have rights when you're enrolled with an MLTC. Some of those rights include to receive medically necessary care, timely access to care and services, privacy about your medical records, and when you get treatment, get information on available treatment options and an alternatives presented in a manner and language you understand. You can get that information in a language you understand, and you can get oral translation free of charge as well. Getting information necessary to give informed consent before the start of treatment, to be treated with respect and dignity, to get a copy of your medical records and ask that the record be amended or corrected. Take part in decisions about your healthcare, including the right to refuse treatment. Be free from any form of restraint or seclusion used as a means of coercion, discipline, convenience, or retaliation. Get care without regard to sex, race, health status, color, age, national origin, sexual orientation, marital status, or religion. Be told where, when, and how to get the services you need from your MLTC plan, including how you can get covered benefits from out-of-network providers if they are not available in-network. Complain to New York State Department of Health or your local Department of Social Services, and the right to use the New York State Fair Hearing System and or a New York State external appeal when appropriate, and appoint someone to speak to you or for you about your care and treatment. So how to get help from ICAN. And these are different ways you can reach us. I can also give our Dropbox number, which would go directly to us. And that number is 631-822-3290.
Amanda, you said 631-822-3290, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I put that in the chat. Okay, so if you have questions, please put them in the chat. Thanks so much, Amanda. I am going to just clarify one of the slides that was pointed out by one of the viewers. We had for, I believe it was for the Medicaid plan, this slide. This is from 2024. These are not the current income guidelines. Do you know what the current ones are?
I'm not sure what the current ones are. I think it's what's reflected by Magi for Medicaid, so for the limits.
Okay, so if we will find that out for folks and send it out to everyone in a follow-up email, just so that folks have the most updated information for 2025. If that's okay, Amanda.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's see what questions we have in the chat. Let me go back to the other slide. Oh, you know what? I had one more question, Amanda. That was just something I had while you were speaking. Let me see if I can find it. You said something about a PACE. I think it was like a PACE center.
Yes.
Are there quite a few of those on Long Island?
I believe there's 2 or 3. Yeah, there's not a lot of them.
Okay.
So it tends to be a smaller program.
Okay, so but there are a few on Long Island.
Yes. Yeah, I believe each county has one.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, and then let's go to the questions in the chat here. Okay, so here's a question. Maria, I saw some ads, Maria is speaking. I saw some ads on TV that things are changing with CDPAP. My neighbor said his plan changed. He's disabled, and I'm not sure what changed or how to help. Would he have a case manager, and can they assist him with any changes? Have things changed drastically recently?
Yeah, so with regards to the CDPAP and PPL transition, there's a lot in flux currently. So at this point, we're just advising anyone who has questions about CDPAP at this point to just give us a call in the Dropbox because it's going to be I think it's going to be very individualized at this point. They should still continue to receive CDPAP services and continue to the process of registering. The transition will happen. It's just a matter of the timeline. So everyone should just continue to work towards that. But yeah, if there's any questions about CDPAP, we can definitely help on a more individualized basis. It would probably be better.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So once again, I'm just going to put the ICAN Dropbox phone number in the chat so folks can have access to that. 631-822. What was the last four again?
3290.
3290. That's just instead of going through reception through the organization, you can just dial that direct number and go to the direct voicemail for ICAN. So that's the difference. If you call the reception, they'll just probably, will they transfer? What do they do if someone calls?
Yeah, they usually transfer either to the Dropbox or sometimes to Jennifer Rivera, but the Dropbox definitely a better way to go.
Okay, yeah. So you'll still get there, but it's just will take longer.
Yes.
Okay, so next question, is there a recommended route for those of us who are looking to link individuals with mental illness to MTLC/case management?
Yeah, so for the HARP plan, usually I believe the state will flag someone as qualifying, but I have heard, on occasion where if you reach out to the state or say an advocate reaches out or a provider and says, I think this person meets the Medicaid guidelines for it, you can get it. But HARP is generally, you cannot have Medicare for HARP, unfortunately. It is, I believe, Medicaid only. And that could be a really good resource. On top of home care, they have a whole host of other supports.
And then what about HARP, H-A-R-P?
Yes, and they do have case management. They have different teams that work with the individual. That's built into the plan.
Okay, great. Does anyone else have any other questions? You can always feel free to email me and I will pass them along to Amanda. If you have any questions that come up after we sign off, feel free to email. Okay. All right. Well, thanks everyone for attending. If you do have, like I said, if you have a client to refer, feel free to refer them to the Dropbox for ICAN or any other clients with any other legal issues, call the main number. Legal Support Center for Advocates is only for advocates. You can check out our website and hopefully the survey works when you close out. So thanks so much for coming, everybody.
Thank you.
And I hope you have a great day and thanks, Amanda. All right, bye everyone.